What up, guys? Maxske here, and welcome to Economics 8.16 at Ekko University, where we talk everything Ekko for patch 8.16. And wait, what is that in the sky? Is that that's a thunderstorm! Watch out! Electrocute! Oh wait, it does no damage. It's nerfed. Ha! Lol.
It's not how much time you have. It's how you use it.
Welcome, class, to Economics 8.16. I'm your host and professor, Maxske Ekko. And guess what I just found out? You guys haven't been paying your bills. So guess what? This school's gonna go out of business unless you guys smash that like button or we're closing down. So I need a job. But anyway, we're gonna talk about the best runes, the best builds, the best bans, Ekko's patch rating, and then we're gonna do some OP.GG reviews. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, let's talk about Ekko's best rune page for this patch. I still believe that Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Ghost Portal, Ravenous Hunter, Absolute Focus, Gathering Storm is the best rune page for Ekko. And so yeah, I would still go with this rune page. It's still the best. I tried 3 different rune pages and I still think this is the strongest one. I will talk about another rune page that's becoming popular, but if you want to like still play well on Ekko, I think this is the best rune page. And if you guys are interested in my opinion about the nerfs, I will talk about, you know, my thoughts on the domination nerfs and all the nerfs in League of Legends when I talk about Ekko's patch rating in a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. So this rune page is becoming more popular, but I just want to say that I personally hate this rune page. I don't think it benefits Ekko as much as people think, and I think it's really weak. But first of all, people go domination, and then secondary they go inspiration. This is an LCS strat where you go biscuit, delivery, and time warp tonic, plus you get like a corrupting potion, maybe a dark seal, and you have super sustain in lane. So during the laning phase, you basically can keep trading and never have to worry about your mana or your HP because you have like 30 different sources of healing plus amplified healing. So that's where like this logic comes from. But personally for Ekko, I think without having sorcery secondary with these electrocute nerfs, you do so little damage. Like I use this rune tree. I lose like 60 ability power with sorcery, plus electrocute nerfs, plus sudden impact nerfs. I couldn't even kill an enemy 0-5 Kai'Sa when she had 75% HP, and I had like 4 kills. Like, I feel so weak with this rune page. If you like this type of playstyle, you could try it, but personally, I prefer going full damage now, especially now. I have to go full damage, or you won't be able to one-shot anybody. So I personally do not like this rune page, but if you like it, try it. If you don't, go back to domination sorcery. So for Ekko's build, it's the same as always. You go Doran's Ring start, Dark Seal refillable potion, then you go Proto Belt, Stork Boots, Lich Bane, Death Cap, Morello, or Morello Death Cap. So this is like the standard build that's been going on for so long. It's the best option. You could start Dark Seal first, you could start Corrupting Potion, but for the most part, I feel like the starting items are based on your playstyle and your personal preference. I started winning so many more games with Doran's Ring start. I don't know why. I just prefer Doran's Ring. Then I go Dark Shield refillable. But some people like to go Corrupting Potion into Dark Shield, into Doran's, or into whatever. Or you don't even go Doran's. You just go Dark Seal, Corrupting, and whatever. So like the early game items are up to you. But the core build stays the same, where it's Proto Belt, Stork Boots, Lich Bane, Decap, Morello, or Morello Decap, depending if they have healing or not. You could throw in the Zanyas. I don't really like the Zanyas. You could throw in like a GA instead of a Zanya's last item. Like, but for the most part, this is the primary build for you to go. I also made a video on Ekko's build versus AD champions, so you guys could go check out that video, which is just instead of going Lich Bane, you go Iceborne Gauntlet. So, and instead of Sword Boost, you go Tabbies. So that's really good for AD champions. But this is the best build for Ekko in every normal situation. Alright, for the must bans for 8.16, I added Akali in here. The new reworked Akali. I have no clue how to play versus Akali, like I'm being honest. Like regardless if the Akali is auto-filled or mains Akali or is first timing Akali or anything, I see no way of beating Akali without jungle help. Like I feel like she out damages Ekko in the early game. Her Shroud is has no counterplay. Like her Shroud has no counterplay. She has like 40 dashes again. And they could go across the map. Like, I just personally, if you guys know how to play versus Akali, regardless of elo, write in the comments. But for me, and talking to other Ekko players, I feel like Akali just beats Ekko and melee assassins in general. But I have no clue how to beat this champion yet. That's why I'm banning her, because I still have a lot to learn about the new Akali. LeBlanc is LeBlanc. I just hate LeBlanc's point and click burst one-shots you. We all know what LeBlanc does. Should be banned, removed from the game. Rise, another champion, point and clicks. 2-second point and click CC. Spams, shields, becomes tanky. The champion should be removed from the game. But my main ban right now is still Kassadin. Because Kassadin did get it buffed a couple of patches ago. And he's still really hard to kill in lane. And if he gets snowballing, you're never going to kill him. And he's just killing your entire team. So Kassadin's right now is like my perma-ban. Because he's sort of more popular than like Rise. So I ban, you know, Kassadin. I would ban LeBlanc more, but LeBlanc is still squishy and she's killable. Akali is really annoying, but like people haven't mastered her yet, so she's still like beatable. But Kassadin is really annoying. Aurelion Sol is for like high elo players. If you're an Ekko in like high elo, Aurelion Sol is one of those champions where you could sort of beat in lane, but he just has so much impact around the map that you don't want to deal with. So Aurelion Sol is kind of really annoying. He's also not that hard to play the higher elo you get. There's so many high elo Aurelion Sol players because he just has so much lane pressure and roam potential. But the only champion that I'm banning outside of mid lane is Kindred. Why am I banning Kindred? Kindred's still kind of strong, right? And I don't know, Kindred's one of those champions that when you're trying to 1v, like trying to burst somebody, if Kindred is there, he clicks R and then boom, he could save his teammates. So I don't really like playing versus Kindreds. That's my personal preference. So these are the champions that I'm mostly banning right now for this patch. So let's talk about Ekko's patch rating for this patch. Last patch it was an A, but this patch with the electrocute nerfs and sudden impact nerfs, Ekko is gonna be a B from F to S+. So B is not the best, but also not the worst. So let's talk about the nerfs. So they nerfed electrocute's damage by a lot, but buffed its cooldown by half. So now you have electrocute up from 25 to 20 seconds. Before it was 50 to 25, but you do a lot more damage, but now you do a lot less damage. So what's the like logic behind it? They want you to be able to use electrocute more often, but less bursties. They don't want you to have, oh, every 50 seconds you one-shot somebody. Now they want you to, okay, every 25 seconds trade and then try to kill them. So they want you to like do damage over time more often rather than in one shot, boom. So this actually hurts Ekko a lot because Ekko is one of those champions that isn't traditionally a one-shot champion. This season with Electrocute he was, but if you remember last season with Thunderlords, Ekko didn't really, you know, one-shot crazily. But now it's like the same thing is happening as before. It's harder for Ekko to one-shot a mid to late game now, which is the time in the game where he's excelled this season. But now they sort of nerfed like his biggest point in the game. Yeah, his early game I guess got buffed a little bit, but Ekko is not the strongest in like the early game, so like, imagine trading with Ekko now. Say if you want to trade every 25 seconds with the new Electrocute, which you should be doing, you're going to run out of mana with Ekko. Like, Ekko's a mana AP assassin, melee AP assassin champion that did not get any mana compensations from the nerfs to Doran's Ring. So, think about it. Ekko throws out 2 Qs in lane, trades twice. He's going to have 0 mana. Like, literally. His trades take 200 mana if you use QE only, not even W. QE, 100 mana, throwing 2 Qs to farm the wave, another like 100 mana. You're wasting like 300 mana for 2 trades and 2 Qs in lane. Like that's basically all of Ekko's mana in the early game. Obviously it gets better a little longer as the game goes on, but in the early game I feel like you still can't fully utilize the Electrocute to its full potential. And on top of that, Ekko's a melee champion, so he has to run into the enemy team more often, which is, you know, not always the best thing in the early game because he's not that strong. The plus side is that if you're versing a good matchup, you could be more aggressive versus them more often. If like the enemy jungler is attacking you or attacking your jungler, you could go help them pop Electrocute and then not have to worry about having Electrocute on the long cooldown for lane. So yeah, it does have its lane benefits, but overall your after lane is nerfed heavily. And this is a bad nerf to this tree because the meta champions that one-shot you, like, you know, some of them rely on Electrocute heavily, but a lot of the super meta champions do not. Think of Vlad. Vlad does not need Electrocute to 1v9 your team. Electrocute made him stronger, but now guess what? Vlad is all cooldowns. As soon as his cooldowns Electrocute is back up, he'll all-in you again and then again and then again. And, you know, he's such a safe champion that never has to rely on mana, so he could just trade constantly. Think about champions like Talon. Talon doesn't need Electrocute to one-shot you, right? But now that Electrocute's up more often, he'll do more damage in bursts, but guess what? His little damage bursts one-shot you anyway. You know, like, he could go Phage Rush and still one-shot you, whereas Ekko with Phage Rush will never one-shot you. And then you have champions like Rise, Aurelion Sol, that don't even use any of the nerfed runes, and they're going to be harder to kill now because, you know, Electrocute and Sudden Impact nerfs. So now the champions like Rise, Aurelion Sol, TF are going to be so much harder to kill, like a lot harder to kill. And then you still have Bruisers that are going to be harder to kill. You have 80 carries that are going to be harder to kill. So basically, Assassins that rely on Electrocute got nerfed pretty heavily. That's why I would say Ekko still has his great team fighting utility. Still has his good roam. Still has his like good mid to late game. Now has a sort of better early game, but his like mid to late game did get nerfed a lot. That's why I'm giving him a B. He's in a spot where I think it's a lot harder for him to solo carry the game, but he's still someone who's pretty good, you know, on your team. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the nerfs. I feel like they should have just nerfed the champions rather than the runes, because the runes affect a wide variety of champions that may have not been super OP or meta, whereas the meta champions will still be, you know, meta. But yeah, let's go into the OP.GG reviews. Alright guys, let's do some OP.GG reviews. The first guy up is Felix Bizzle, Gold 4, 72 LP, 54% win rate. Let's see, he started from Bronze 1 to Gold. Very good. Let's get you to Platinum. Let's see why you're not Platinum. Great KDA with Ekko, great win rate, a lot of games, really good, you're consistent. So here's the problem. You're playing all these champions, I already see, that are holding you back. Yeah, look, 4 extra losses, 2 extra losses, 6 extra losses, 3 extra losses, 2 extra losses, 2 extra losses. You lost a lot of games unnecessarily. I get it, sometimes you get auto-filled, I get it, sometimes someone takes Ekko, I get it, sometimes you're forced not to play Ekko. If that situation ever happens, just dodge. Literally dodge or make someone dodge in your team. If you can't, if you run out of dodges, then find the champion and secondary role that you could actually have impact with. Because based on this, you're not really having impact on the game, you're relying on your team to carry you. And especially in gold, you don't want that to happen. So try to find a secondary champion and a secondary role that's your go-to when Ekko's taken. Primarily an easy champion that you could have impact with, because you don't want to be like coin flipped into a game, right? But yeah, anyway, let's try to get you to Platinum. Let's look at this game, see what you did. Corrupting Potion, Dark Seal, Protobelt, Lichbane. Then you went Zanya's. Then you went Magi, Soul Magi's, and then went GA. Alright, runes are sort of correct. I would have went Ghost Portal, but that's personal preference. Alright, so your build, okay, let's see if you're built correctly. Let's see, you have a useless Jax, so you can't complain. People should not complain about their teammates because you can still win the game with a deadweight teammate where the support did more damage than the Jax. Interesting. Well, and there you had a good 80 carry, you had a good you had an Ornn. Alright, so you have these 3 champions that really help you, and you have a CC support. So it was basically a 4v5 game from the looks of it. They had okay, they're all AD basically except Zyra, and she did a lot of damage, so that's why you build the Merc Treads. Okay. And then you have CC from like Camille, Xayah, Alistar. Okay, I see why you build Merc Treads. I personally would not have built Merc Treads this game. I would have went for Sword Boots and just try to one-shot their team, because why? Well, as you see, they have no MR in the enemy team, right? The only people that have MR is Alistar and Yorick, and they're not your targets. Your targets are Camille, Zyra, and Xayah. And if you go Sword Boots, plus Sudden Impact, plus Morellonomicon, you're doing true damage to them. So yeah, then you build Zanya's. I feel like I don't know the outcome of I don't know how the game went, but by looking at the scores, I feel like Xayah, Camille, and Yorick weren't really that strong compared to the Zyra. So maybe Zanya's wasn't the best decision. I personally don't build Zanya's. That just I don't feel like I feel like it makes you weaker. I only build Zanya's versus full AD teams, and right here they have like a really strong Xayah. So you know, it's personal preference, but I would have went Morellonomicon or Deathcap. Deathcap then Morellonomicon instead of Zanya's, because right here you have no Magic Pen, right? Which is fine because they don't really have a lot of MR in their carries. But if you did have Magic Pen, like if you had Morello, Sword Boots, you could one-shot guaranteed. You'll be doing true damage. You went GA. I like the GA. I wouldn't build GA with Zanya's. I feel like you should pick one or the other. So I would have went Protobelt, Sword Boots, Lichbane, Morellonomicon or Death Cap, and then Morellonomicon into GA instead of the Zanyas. I wouldn't have built the Zanyas or the Merc Treads. That's just how I play, but it still worked for you. But just consider this: if you went Morello Sorks, you probably would have been able to one-shot the Zyra before she did anything. She doesn't have any MR or like a Zanyas or anything. So think of it that way. Just next time. But yeah, you still won, so good job. Let's look at this game. Okay, I hate Inspiration Secondary. I feel like you used so little damage, and from the looks of it, you did so little damage. You also went Tabbies because of the Z. Alright, so they're AD, support, doesn't matter. Jungle. I would have went the AD build. I would have went Proto Belt, Tabbies, Iceborne Gauntlet, plus the Zanyas here. But I feel like you died very early to Zed. So it made... like, there's something really you could do here. If you die early to Zed, the game's over. For you, at least. So next time, try not to feed the Zed. That's all I could tell you. Like, you have to just learn how to play the matchup better, because like even if I were to mess up versus a Zed even one time, your lane becomes extremely difficult to do anything because he'll just one-shot you. So for next time, try to survive the Zed damage. And if you're gonna go Inspiration, you might as well just went Stopwatch because you're gonna build Zanyas anyway versus a Zed for the AD armor build. So yeah. Yasuo game, you got, okay, see? Oh, that's flex, so it doesn't really count. Let's see. Let's look at... Okay, this game is a good one to look at. Okay, you did a lot of damage. Let's see, look at the builds. Okay, corrupt. You like to start corrupting potion. I guess this is your preference. Okay. Just understand that going corrupting potion, Darksteel, Dorans is a lot of gold for the early game. It delays your proto build by a couple of minutes, so that's why I don't build corrupting potion a lot anymore. I just go Dorans, Darksteel, refillable. It saves you like a good 300 something gold, so that's just to keep aware of. And then you went Lichbane, you went Zanyas again. Let's see. You went Zanyas. Okay, they have Yorick, Nock, Fizz, MF, Nami. So you went Zanya. Okay, so... Alright, Zanya's wasn't a bad choice in this situation. I see why... Because you could Zanya's Fizz ult, you could Zanya's Nocturne ult. Yeah, okay, so Zanya's game was a pretty good decision, I agree with that. But you do have a lot of deaths. So what I'm going to say about this game is that you died way too many times. Like, there's no reason for you as Ekko with Zanya's plus your R to die this much times. Like, if you want to play well and be consistent, try to get less than 6 or 5 deaths a game. If you can manage that, like you see here, you average 4.9. That's good. So games like this, you should not have this many deaths. I know it happens, but that's why you lost. You didn't lose because your team played bad. You didn't... You all have a lot of deaths. So if you all died like 2 or 1 time less, it would have been much better for you. They do have a really good pick comp. So, but this game was very... understand this game was very much winnable if you guys played better. Because you guys died too many times. You matched... it looks like you did more damage, honestly. You guys have matching damages, so it depends who messes up and plays better this game. But yeah, for all I'm going to say for you is keep playing Ekko. Die a little bit less in like your losses. And try, I don't know, personally you like to build Zanyas a lot. Looks like, judging from... Oh, you built the Abyssal Mask this game. Versus an Akali and Cho'Gath. Yeah, Abyssal Mask was not a good buy this game. Who are you scared of? Akali's damage? She's 5 and 9. Are you scared of Cho'Gath? He's a full tank true damage, so... I don't think Abyssal Mask was a good idea at this game. Yeah, that was a bad buy. But for the most part, it looks like you build Zanyas like every game. You shouldn't be building Zanyas every game, personally. I would say. Yeah, so you're building every game. Try to go Morellonomicon instead of Zanya's third item, or Death Cap. And I feel like you'd be doing a lot more damage. But yeah, good luck on your climb, man. Next guy. We have Pentakiller. Teargraph. Oh, you were Plat this season, and then you demoted. Alright, we gotta get you back to Plat, man. We can't have this in the Ekko community. Let's see what's going on here. Good KD on Ekko. Pretty decent win rate on Ekko. Let's see. Oh, okay. I see some stuff here that I do not like. All right. Same thing as the last guy. There's no reason for you to play Aurelia 5 times in rank. There's no reason for you to play Darius 4 times and lose. You have a lot of extra Soraka. Okay, I guess you were autofill support. Same thing with jungle. Okay, so from looking at this, when you get autofilled or when you want to play a new champion other than Ekko, you lose the game. The only reliable, sort of decently, maybe reliable champion you have is Alawi. So maybe go mid-top. If you get top and don't get Ekko, play Alawi. That's all I can say. All these other champions are holding you back. Like, you have to understand that they're holding you back. So let's see. So try to play these 2 champions, I guess. Okay, you're on a pretty big losing streak. Okay, you play Alawi, Ekko. Okay, pretty good. I wouldn't say Alawi's the biggest meta champion, but Alawi's really good at team fights, so he's a decent champion to know. So this game looks like you could have won. You were playing well-ish. Let's see. All right, you go. Hey, go sport. Okay, so this is good. I wouldn't go Scorch. Go Gathering Storm. I think it's a lot better. Scorch just got nerfed also. Okay, this is 3 days ago. Did the patch come out 3 days ago? It might have. Yeah, Scorch got hella nerfed also, so I wouldn't use Scorch anymore. Gathering Storm is just so much better. Let's see. 1 and 9 top. 3 and 10. Yeah, unlucky. And they have a Kali. And they have a Talia. And a Yasuo. And okay, this game was unlucky. I don't think you could carry this game. Why? Because you have no top laner. And you have an Inting support. And a behind 80 carry. And you have a Lee Sin jungle that doesn't scale that well. And it's a gold Lee Sin. And they have the craziest meta champ. They have a Talia. And they have a really strong Jhin. And they have this game. Don't be mad about losing this game. This game, you just got a bad team. This game looks like you could have won it though. Oh my god. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah, use Gathering Storm. From what I could tell, this is a 28-minute game. This is a 20-minute game. With Gathering Storm, you would have 24 AP, which is a lot. Really good on Ekko. Plus Ghost Poro, plus Absolute Focus. That's a lot of extra AP. You going Scorched is kind of useless in the late game. So you would have more AP if you went Gathering Storm. Try that. Let's see. You had a Renekton helping you. Oh wow, you had no jungler. Looked like he AFK'd. You had no bot lane. Unlucky. Let's see what they had. And they had a Draven. And they had 2 Bruisers. But they're all AD though. Except for Mumu. Maybe you could have possibly... Okay, you built Tabbies. You could have possibly won Iceborne Gauntlet, Deathcap Zanyas, and been like the AD tank Ekko build. Well, AD versus AD champions, the armor Ekko build that I made, that I showed you guys in my previous videos. But looking at this game, this game would have been hard to carry because you're versing 2 Bruisers, which Ekko does not really beat, and then you're versing a Fed Draven, so this is another unlucky game. But you could have died less though. Okay, oh, another game. Let's see. Let's look at this game. I'm seeing it. Yeah, use Gathering Storm. Don't use Scorch. I'm telling you that right now. Inting top, Inting jungler, Inting support. They have a Graves. Malzahar didn't do anything. This is really unlucky. You see how much gold you have? With 6 and 1, you have 10k gold, but their entire team has over 10k gold because your team minted. This is another game where it's really hard, especially if you're like a gold player trying to get platinum, or you're a platinum player trying to get like diamond. If your team does this and you're like starting to get better, it's gonna be really hard to carry a game like this. You got unlucky these games. You just got really unlucky these games. It's all I can really tell you. Yeah, go Gathering Storm. They had a Fetty. Damn. Okay, I feel like you're Warwick, Syndra. You went Merc Treads. Yeah, Merc Treads aren't bad this game. You're getting sort of like in a spot where you're relying on your team not to int. Like, you're in a spot right now where you're relying on your team not to int, which I know it happens, but okay, Kindred played well here. Okay, so from looking at this, it looks like you play Ekko pretty well, but you went on a massive losing streak, right? Like you're losing games where you should be winning them because your team is really bad, and that happens. That happens in every elo. But what you have to understand is is that you have to stop playing when this happens. From personal experience, this happens to me, and even if I go 4-1, I'm not actually 4-1 because I'm tilted and I'm upset that my team is inting. So I started thinking less about how to win the game. So what I could tell you is just like, you know, take a little break, and then just clear your mind, and then if you go 4-1 again, you'll probably win the game. Because playing tilted, even though you have a good score, you're not thinking about everything, right? So that's just being honest. That's what happens to me. I could be playing well, lose 3 games in a row because I didn't have a team when I played well, and then I may be 3-1 again next game, but I'm actually tilted. I'm actually upset. I'm focusing on my teammates dying. It just hurts you. So from what I could say, looking at this, try to use Gathering Storm. You're building correctly, I guess. It's just you're getting unlucky with these teams sometimes. So what I could tell you is if you want to avoid this happening, you just have to win lane harder. I know that's like kind of like a weird thing to say, like, oh, just win lane harder, right? But if you do win, like, if the enemy Draven's like 6-0, you sort of have to be like 5-0 yourself, you know? But I know that's not as easy as it sounds, but that's all the advice I could give you. This unluckiness will go away, considering the way you're playing pretty decently. So the luck will be in your favor soon. You just gotta not tilt. But yeah, hope this helped you a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.